you must be talking about that linchpin life. Well, we're outside here. My kids are here at the playground, one of their favorite places to play, right around the corner from my office. And I'm excited to be here because we're talking about something that you'll hear a lot about this particular week on Saturday. It's called Juneteenth. You may not know what that date, that actual date is, June 19th. And it's a celebration because when the slaves were freed, they didn't get the information in Texas until sometime later on June 19, 1865. So they started celebrating their freedom at a different time. Now, again, I didn't even know that when I was living in Tennessee. But when I moved to Texas, they celebrated this and it was serious. So how should people think of Juneteenth? I think you should think of Juneteenth, especially since the George Floyd thing has brought a lot of attention to this and a lot of people want to fix some of their wrongs. Let's just say we should use it to educate us to take action, to make change, right? Let's become more successful. Let's run more publicly traded companies. Let's get educated on what that process takes. Let's find someone who can teach us what we don't know. So when you're out celebrating Juneteenth, I really think you should be thinking about people like folks that have businesses in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You should be thinking, how can I make sure that I show them that we didn't forget about them? I became a successful business, publicly traded, right? I want to see an African-American company like Apple. I want to see that. I think, there are not a lot of Black publicly traded companies. If I decided personally that I was going to invest, I'd either have to go with Urban One or a couple of banks. But in terms of the entertainment business, I think you're kind of all by yourself in that world as a publicly traded company. So how does that feel?
Listen, it feels amazing to be able to have that opportunity to be the CEO of a public traded company. I know we're one of 10 in the industry. Before me, it was Bob Johnson at BET and a couple of the other banks that were publicly traded, but there was nobody out there that was founded and was running and was in control of public companies that looked like me. I come from a finance background. I'm going on 30-something years in the business of being in the public markets. And from working in that industry, I saw that was the platform for true wealth creation, to either be owning shares in public companies or being the head of public companies and empowering people through the growth and in the upswing of your stock. That brings true wealth. So to be in this small group of people that are owning and controlling a publicly traded company, I'm honored to be able to do that. But the most exciting thing about it all is the fact that I can take the knowledge that I've learned from the whole experience and share it with other people that look like me and let them know that this opportunity exists for them too.
Now, I want to suggest something, because this isn't all about just Black folks. Small businesses, whether they're owned by Hispanics, whites, or Blacks, let's do more to support them. It is tough running a small business, okay? And they need every dollar that you can help them get. So just put that on your schedule sometimes to support businesses that matter, right? Maybe just go one Gucci shirt less. It'll make a difference in a small business.
A lot of people of color, because we came from nothing, it took us so long to get here, the first thing we think is, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of cars. Cars is the worst investment you can make, unless you're buying classic cars. That's the only thing that have an asset. Everything else you need to lease. Lease it 2 years, send it back. A house, you need to buy some land, you need to own the mineral rights, you need to build it from the ground up.
Wow.
You need to own it. Not pay $6 million and move in no neighborhood. That's ridiculous.
Listen, I'm gonna say this to you business owners who aren't publicly traded. I'm gonna give you a suggestion. Look into being a publicly traded company, because it'll make a difference in what you're doing. It'll be a way where you can pass your company down generation after generation. So yeah, you're gonna be scared because you don't know how to do it. I'm a business owner. When I first got started, I was afraid. You know, I was running a business that was a sole proprietorship. You know, I was scared to do the corporation thing. You know, but when you get out there and you start and you have faith, it's amazing what God can do. So don't be scared. Get a mentor. Find someone who's already done it. And just trust your instincts. Trust your gut. We need more publicly traded companies owned by Black folks. One of my biggest concerns, you know, getting into the stock market and talking about stocks and that kind of thing, there are not a lot of publicly owned African American companies, probably less than 20. And so much easier to run a business when you can use someone else's money and they allow you to, and the banks takes those shots with those type of companies like AMC right now. They were shut down all last year. They raised $1 billion to make money. The same thing with the cruise lines. They raised enough money where if they didn't actually take a cruise for over a year, they were still in a great place. So understanding that, why don't we see that as African Americans sometimes? Because that concerns me.
Well, because we've never been taught, okay? We've never been taught. It's really going back to slavery, okay? We've always been used to people owning us. And I don't want to do this and say this in the wrong way.
Okay.
Politically correct speaking here. But a lot of times people so used to people telling them what to do, especially as it pertains to finances and being free in that area of finance. And I think that if we don't have enough, again, confidence in ourselves. Are you hearing me? I think you can hear me.
I can hear you.
If you don't have enough confidence in yourself, but knowing how to really, for me, I knew how to do it. But everybody and there are not enough African American companies out there on the market. I don't know if it's any. Maybe
there are a few.
10%, maybe a 10%. It's a low percentage, especially on the S&P. S&P, that's the elite. So you're not gonna get big board maybe, but the S&P is just, that's your elite.
You gotta start small, right? So that's what this should be used as. Take Juneteenth to help yourself educate yourself on how you're gonna make a difference. How you're gonna make the world a better place. How you're gonna support your family. How you're gonna look out for your neighbors. That's what matters the most. And that's the part that we here at the Linchpin Bunch Inc. want to make sure we're reminding you of.